I jumped onto the mast of the crane. Everybody else tried to jump onto the mast of the crane too. I don't know how I didn't fall off of it.
A Kelowna resident who was recorded scooting himself to safety after a deadly crane collapse in the summer is speaking out for the first time. Levi tells Castanet he was at the very top of the crane, about 27 stories high, when it came crashing down.
It was just an average morning. I was going into work. It was nothing super special. I was nervous because I've never dismantled a crane or anything like that before. So I was standing on the crane climber along with Eric. I was on the bottom east side, standing next to Eric, and then Kaylin and Jared were directly above us.
Levi says a lot of it is a blur.
I might have fallen one story on I think the piece of the crane that I actually jumped onto it fell, and I think I fell onto another piece. I have no idea. If I either didn't fall at all, and if I did fall, it would have been about 8 feet, because what I initially dove onto was no longer there. So that's why I'm like, I don't know how I didn't fall.
Levi says the crane crumbled within the span of about 15 seconds.
At that point, I was more like, what the heck's really happening? And at that moment, like, we all understood what was going on, but like, again, it doesn't even it doesn't register consciously.
Levi says doctors started to call him Spider-Man, with no explanation to how he survived. The former Kelowna resident was the only one of 5 working at the top of the crane to survive. A worker in a neighboring building also died after the building collapsed from the crane's debris. Levi says he has endured both physical and mental injuries after the fatal accident, and their family is financially strained.
I was getting paid $28 before, and they dropped it down to $17 an hour for WorkSafe because of my parental leave. They go back and they audit the hours, or went back, and when they audited my hours, I didn't take enough paternity leave, so they subtracted that time out of theirs.
Levi says he still works under cranes and is doing the same job he had when the accident occurred, but he says he had to leave Kelowna.
And we're talking about a city with a high rise of 3 buildings, and everywhere you look, all I would see was that one.
To date, a total of $200 has been raised. The fundraiser has a goal of $10,000. For Castanet News, I'm Madison Earhart in Kelowna.